praise the Creator and nobody else. So before I start this lesson and some information that may surprise you, let's give the Creator some praise. And of course, the Creator is spirit, energy, not man, not woman, not a physical thing. So with that said, let's go. Okay, so they hit this bit of information, and they did it to help scare you. We're going to have Dan Calloway take this away right here. As you know, he is very informational and have earned a lot of true for his respect for the information and the money that he invests to find out the truth. Hard-hitting evidence.
Look, 100 years after 100 years, they done lied to us about this and that. Told us all we from Africa and made fiction characters turn into facts. Harriet Tubman, then it was Nat. Knowing goddamn well that trick was capped. My wife and I wrote a book about it, and it's book with knowledge, evidence, and fact. My other book got them haters shook, cause it's helping my people take a closer look at their backgrounds in the background, showing my people where they supposed to look, showing my people where to get it from, where to hit it from, all sorts of angles. When it comes to this research, you must please first don't trust strangers. Find out all on your own is what I highly recommend and suggest. And if you looking for unsuspecting content by me, I highly recommend you the best, which is my website at the link you see just across the screen. Don't let it miss you. I make it simple. I double down on that black and white. It's too official. See you, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Now, I'm back in my office and I'm actually working on some things right now so I could get ready to put out the new content that I told you guys I was going to do for February. I want to show you all something that I ran across in the middle of my research and trying to get other things handled, dealing with some things I'm getting ready to present. And this is hilarious to me. And this is when I want to point to you all. So I'm going to pull this up on my second screen here. Okay, now I really want you guys to take a look at this, and this is another example, yet again, of how I'm explaining to you all that a lot of these, what they're really called as conceptual art, based on conceptualism. Of course, we went into this before, but this is another form of it. And I also not only want to point this conceptual art out, but how it has been changed over time in order to fit the narrative of what you may be familiar with. I want you to take a very close look at what I'm about to show you, okay? So I hope you can see my mouse. I hope that comes out. But look at this picture. In this picture, we have two boats. Now, we're going to go over this, okay? I really want you to focus on the details of this image. And I'm going to go into when this was created and everything like that. I probably will even show it to you. I'm probably going to have to chop this up because I'm doing this live, so I'm going to have to chop this up and show you. But the detail, there's a white guy that has his hands behind him, okay? There's a guy that's pointing at the children, and it looks more so like women here too, but it could have been, this could be a boy, but basically they're fully clothed, okay? And I hope you can hear me. I'm not up on the mic all the way, but, and this guy looks like he's telling him, hey, they could be used for labor, okay? They could be contracted for servitude. They're young, they're able-bodied, and basically he's trying to sales pitch what he can do with let me explain the picture. These children were captured from the Dutch man-of-war ship, in which I went into this before. This was supposed to be depicting the time period of Jamestown in 1619 in Virginia. Now, these were supposed to be the people that were captured, the 20 and odd Negroes that were captured from the Dutch. There we go. I'm trying to make sure everything is correct in my mind. Yeah, they were captured from the Dutch. The Dutch allegedly, took them and brought them back to Jamestown and tried to sell them, basically, okay? But this what the picture is depicting, and I want to show you this, okay? At the same time, let me pull it up. All right. Now, look at this one, okay? Now, what we see here is the guy, his hands on his back. There's the guy pointing at the guy with the hat and everything. Now, they have guns. All of a sudden, now they have guns. They're weaponized, okay? And now the slaves look like boys. No clothes on. Let's look at that one more time. Clothes on. The guy's over here, up on the other side, and they're up close. No weapons. You don't see no weapon. This guy is holding a cane. That's not a weapon. No weapons. All right. And then this picture, weapon, cane, and they have no clothes on. Okay. So what I want to do is point out the discrepancies here. All right. Now, this picture that you see here, this image that you see here, this is conceptualism. Based on my research, I discovered that this picture was created in 1754. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. All right. Now, as you can see, I traced this back to the Holton Archives. This is one of the largest archives for a collection of depictions or arts. The Halton Archive is owned by Getty Images. They're selling this image for $500. And according to them, I hope you can see this, it says the date was created January 2nd, 1754. January 2nd, 1754. What's interesting to note here is that they're not giving you the illustrator, okay? But they do have a date, which means maybe the person could be unknown, but I doubt that very seriously. If you know of a specific date, you know who the illustrator is. But that's besides the point. I just want you to note that this image in 1754 is displaying that the people that were captured had clothes on. There was no threat. On top of that, you don't see any weapon on anybody in this picture. None whatsoever. Okay, this is how you know that things have been changed over time. Now, let me get to the other one. Give me 1 second. All right.
Go skip this ad real quick so we can get back to
let me get to the other one. Give me 1 second. All right. Now, this is the next one. This is the image where you see the guy is on this side now with his hands behind his back. Now, I pulled this up on CBS. This is CBS's website. This is one of the, when I tried to trace this image back, this is one of the oldest so far of this being utilized on the internet, okay? Now, I'm also going to check other things, but they're giving the credit to this particular depiction to Howard Powell. They're stating that Howard Powell illustrated many historical and adventure stories from periodicals, including Harper's Weekly. Now, they're stating that this was in a magazine. In 1917, listen to that, in 1917, he created this depiction of the 1619 arrival of Virginia's first blacks. Now, if you guys are familiar with my work in previous years, I went over the multiple discrepancies dealing with the Jamestown settlement. Originally, it was known as James City, and I did a lot of traveling there, going back and forth, documenting things before it was changed. I highly recommend that you go check those out. But that's interesting. So with that being said, let me switch back to the other picture. With all of that being said, now we know that this particular image was changed in order to make it look, hold on, let me go back and pull this one up, to make it seem as if the story was a more threatening story. This is fear-mongering. They're trying to add on to it. This is how you could tell things have been changed along with the story, but they had to have the pictures in order to match it. The transatlantic slave trade story did not happen the way that we were told. We were constantly allowing these strangers to give us depictions in order for us to use our imagination in order to promote things like this, which is complete fear-mongering, to make it seem as if these white folks was too strong enough and these so-called black people was so weak enough that they couldn't fight back. It's honestly mind-boggling to see something like this being done, and especially during that time period. But if you think about it, when this image was created in 1917, that's the same time period that the industrialized system of compulsory education was implemented by the likes of the president of that time, Woodrow Wilson. Okay, so I want you guys to know this. This is just, a sidebar of some things that you could notice, that how imagery was changed in order to make it seem as if it's one thing when it's actually another. Once again, let's go over this. This is the exact image that Harper guy, I forgot his name already, was trying to copy in order to enhance their ideologies, in order to enhance their thoughts, in order to enhance their beliefs, in order to amplify a form of fear-mongering, to make it seem as if slavery existed the way that we were told. Now, I've been saying out of all of my years being on YouTube that no, slavery did not happen the way that we were told. Slavery was strictly about employment. And I'll say that for a little time. I already put this out actually, but I'll talk about it at a different time because that's not what this video is about. But yeah, if you want to have a discussion about that, we can. If you would like to know the information that I already presented on this particular topic, go back. I highly recommend that you watch this video, or documentary rather, full-fledged documentary called Who Should Be Held Responsible for Slavery. That's one of them that I can recall right off of hand, but I'm sure somebody could get in the comments and tell you about other documentaries or videos that I have posted on this particular topic to inform you by records and, strong evidence, and publicly verifiable, by the way, that yes, slavery was all about employment, and it still exists today, to this very day. That was big business for a reason. It had nothing to do with skin complexion. It's a reason why the 1790 census named those incoming foreigners free whites. And I talked about that as well. That's already out on my channel. Okay, if you would like for me to go over it again, I don't have no problem with doing that. Just, leave your comments down below and tell me what you think. I just wanted to point out these discrepancies, guys. It's always going to be like that. That was purposely done. This is how they want American history to be portrayed, okay? They want to leave loopholes in order for you to fill them in by the use of your imagination. So you have to be careful with a lot of these stories that you're subscribing to when you actually have no idea what they were doing as far as what their main goal was. Actually, I'm going to give you some other things to think. Let me show this to you also. This is an archived United Nations web page, okay? Now, this was dated, it was called the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery in the Transatlantic Slave Trade, March 25th, 2011. Now, you can tell this was archived because this particular image isn't there. In fact, here, I'll right click and open up another tab so you can understand that this is now the new UN website. But let's go back, okay? This is an archive. Dan Calloway don't play that. I want to scroll all the way down here to point something out, okay? And I'll give more feedback on this at a later date, okay? Because this was not on my list of things that I wanted to do, but I just wanted to point something out. But I'll make sure I'll add this to the list and add more to this. I just want to show you guys that there was a conference that was done on, where's that date? On Wednesday, March 23rd, a global conference, okay? Listen to this, a video conference for educators. Can you see this? And by the way, if you wanted to go see this video conference, if I go here and click it in new tab, this is what happens. It's not there anymore, okay? But I know how to get it, and I'm not going to show that right here. But anyway, so a new video conference happened for educators. It says new approaches to teaching African history and the transatlantic slave trade. All right, and I wanted to point something out. It says the conference was designed to update educators on new scholarship, new resources, and best practices, listen to this, guys, in teaching the history and legacy of the transatlantic slave trade. This was all done by design. These particular people that you see right here got together in order to come up with these stories, and along with their depictions, in order to keep the lie going. In order to continue the lie to be upheld as the truth, you have to tell another lie and another lie and another lie. And then you also have to refurbish it with another lie, okay? And then you got to make sure that the educators are regurgitating this information to make it seem as if this is the real deal. But just know for a fact that I'll put this on my schedule and I'll talk more about it. But let's go back to the original question at hand. Keep in mind, this image, or this illustration was done 1917, and this illustration was 1754. They're changing the stories, guys, left and right. I'm just here to point them out. I really appreciate you all for watching, and of course, be looking out for more new content. If you learned something new, go ahead and click the like button. Leave your comments down below and tell me what you think, and I highly recommend that you share everything that I put out, because I'm helping to re-educate our people for the better. I'm Dane Calloway, and you know what I'm here to do. I'm just here to make you think.